Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My dear students, I hope you are doing well. Today we will study fertility, sterility, and artificial breeding. So, fertility is the ability of animal to conceive and maintain pregnancy if served at the appropriate time in relation to ovulation. So she will get conceived, she will maintain her pregnancy, and she will deliver the baby normally. This is called fertility. Infertility is a condition when cows do not become pregnant. They have difficulty in conceiving. If they get conceived, they have difficulty in carrying the baby till delivery, and sometimes they have problem in at the time of delivery. Either cow is died or his calf is in danger. So there are several conditions, and this is a very big issue, big problem in animals as well as in humans, etc. And a related term is abortion. It is a condition when a fetus dies during the pregnancy before birth. This is again a complication related to infertility. She got conceived, fetus was there, but somehow it died during the pregnancy. So we will study what are the causes of infertility. So infertility could be related to bull because bull is contributing semen. So usually we do bull breeding soundness exam. We conduct different tests for bulls. We check the semen of bull if there are enough sperms in the semen, and sperms are motile and their concentration is good. So all these factors. If a bull is well fed, it is free from all genetic disorders, it is adequately vaccinated, so then the bull would contribute to fertility. Otherwise, it would contribute to infertility. If a bull has fever or increase in body temperature, it can affect its semen quality. Sperms may die. So this could contribute to infertility. So we need to check his temperature before using in breeding. Vibriosis, trichomoniasis, bovine herpes virus type 1. These three are reproductive disorders, diseases which affect the fertility of bull. Detail of these diseases is beyond the scope of this course, so it's enough to remember the names like that. They contribute to bull infertility. And there are factors which are related to cow. So if cow is well fed, she is in healthy condition, she is vaccinated, she is free from all genetic disorders, so this management would contribute towards cows. And there are also a lot of diseases which can contribute to cow infertility. Bovine viral diarrhea virus. Well, you have heard of coronavirus, so this is some sort of virus. Bovine anemia, bovine brucellosis. So brucellosis is a disease. It can contribute to infertility. The cow would conceive, but it would deliver or it would abort the baby at 6 months of pregnancy. Similarly, there are several zoonotic diseases. We should be careful of that. If women are handling animals, then these diseases can transfer to humans. There are zoonotic diseases. They can be transferred through milk, they can be transferred through meat, and several other factors. So they contribute to infertility in cow. So both candidates we have discussed. Now the third factor is if we are doing insemination, then artificial insemination can fail, and there are several factors which contribute to infertility or a failure of artificial insemination. Remember, our objective is to get cow conceived, so failing to detect heat is the major problem. If she exhibited heat in silence or exhibited heat at night, the farmer was sleeping and she was in heat, he did not notice. So that can contribute to wrong artificial insemination. Similarly, poor quality semen, if semen in the semen straw, the quality of semen is poor, its sperms are not motile, it was not frozen properly, it was not thawed properly, so this could contribute to infertility. Similarly, if we use semen in low concentration, for example, we need 2 ml, we used 1 ml, so this would be insufficient for getting conception. And similarly, quantity of semen and similarly the concentration of semen means how many sperms that semen contains. So this could contribute to infertility. If the inseminator is incompetent, the person who is doing artificial insemination, if he is incompetent, he does not know how to do the business correctly, so it would contribute to infertility. The cow is good, bull is good, semen is fine, but the inseminator is problematic. So he did not handle it, he is not a clean guy, he did not do it properly, he did not deposit the semen in the right place. For example, it should be in uterus, he simply inseminated in vagina, so that could contribute to infertility. Bad timing, if he did not inseminate on the correct time using AM/PM rule, this could contribute to infertility in cows. So there are several technological solutions to infertility. If a cow is very good, she produces a lot of milk, she produces a lot of meat, and we want kids from that cow, but she cannot get conceived, or has problem in delivering the normal baby. So we can use these technologies. The first one is MOIT, multiple ovulation and embryo transfer, and second is in vitro fertilization. So if a cow can get conceived and it has problem in taking the pregnancy to the terminal end, so we can use multiple ovulation and embryo transfer. It involves removing the fertilized eggs from a female donor. Then we put these eggs in surrogate recipients or mothers who are not related genetically. So these surrogate recipients, they are called recipient surrogate mothers. They are not actual mothers, they are just carrying their baby. So in Urdu we call it किराए की माँ. तो ये माँ असल नहीं होगी, ये किराए की माँ होगी. इसमें जो बच्चा होगा वो उसका अपना नहीं होगा. So this technique can be carried out in all farm animals: cattle, sheep, goat, buffalo, pig, but it is not recommended in horses because we cannot superovulate a mare. So this is typical procedure of multiple ovulation and embryo transfer. We need a donor cow. We give her a hormonal treatment. Usually a cow gives 1 egg, 1 ova. We will give her hormonal treatment to get more than 1, for example 5 or 10 ova. This is called superovulation. So once we have a lot of ova, we will go towards insemination. Step 3, we can either use natural mating or we can use artificial insemination to get all the ovas fertilized. So in normal case we get 1 ova fertilized, but in this case we will get 8 to 10 ova fertilized. So the next step is, once fertilization is done and the embryos are there, after 6 to 8 days after insemination we will recover embryos. This process is called flushing. We will use a technique, flushing, to recover all those embryos from the reproductive tract of the cow. So now we have embryos. We can isolate and classify embryos. We can keep embryos, we can use embryos fresh, or we can freeze embryos in liquid nitrogen at -196 degrees centigrade forever. So if we freeze embryos in liquid nitrogen, they can stay forever, and whenever we need it we can defreeze it and we can unfreeze it and thaw it and inseminate in recipient cow. So next stage is in putting the semen in recipient cow or surrogate mother or kirai ki maa. We can get this cow prepared. There is a separate procedure for preparing such cow. We will make this cow on the same stage of embryo development, and then we will put one embryo in each surrogate mother, and after 9 months we will get an embryo transfer calf. So in this case, for example, we got 10 embryos from a donor cow, and we inseminated to 10 recipient cows, and in ideal cases, or at least in 50% cases, we can get 5 embryo transfer calves from these 10 embryos. So this is all about, very brief about embryo transfer. And the second technique is in vitro fertilization. If fertilization is not possible within the cow, then we can go for IVF, the process of creating embryos from oocytes by fertilizing them with semen in a petri dish. So remember, in MOIT we did fertilization inside the cow, the donor cow, and in vitro fertilization we did fertilization in the petri dish. Oocytes are first collected from the ovaries of donors by ultrasound guided follicle aspiration. They are then matured in a petri dish and fertilized 20 to 24 hours later using semen. And then oocytes then develop in an incubator for 7 days, at which point the resulting viable embryos are transferred into recipients, that is surrogate mothers. So again we will use these surrogate mothers, और इनको हम कहते हैं किराए की माँ. They would simply carry the baby till term, and they will not be the actual mothers. IVF embryos may achieve about 40 to 50% pregnancy rate. So if we use these embryos to 100 cows, we will get 50 of them pregnant. So this is another good technique. I did not talk about the cost of this technique, so you need to there is no need to talk about it right now. So this is a pictorial representation of in vitro fertilization, how we do it. If you have any question, you can contact me anytime. Thank you very much for your attention. Please come up for any questions, or you can use Google or internet facilities or library for detailed information about this subject. Thank you very much. Thank you for your attention.